Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 2, the official episode 2 of TGC Unfiltered. And this is, like I said, in the bonus episode, which was my 2023 read listen thoughts on Kings of Leon's Only by the Night. Because of how much I genuinely was taken aback and surprised, and pleasantly surprised at that, by Kings of Leon's new record, Can We Please Have Fun, here in 2024. I genuinely like that record a lot, and it's made me excited to jump back to what's considered their biggest record. The record that everybody knows, at least something from, Sex on Fire, You Somebody. Even if it's just those you know only by the night, to a degree. So yeah, I'm very excited to jump back into this. So that's what we're going to do here for episode 2 of TGC Unfiltered. And I've already got everything pulled up, so with that being said, let's jump straight back into Only by the Night, 2024 edition this time, though. And of course, we're going to kick off with the opening track, Closer, so here we go. I will say, I do like this intro. It's pretty unique. I think I definitely get it more now, honestly. I think Can We Please Have Fun's definitely helped me understand the band a bit more. So, with Closer, like I said while I was listening, I think overall with that song, I think Can We Please Have Fun has helped me understand the band a bit more, and I don't. Well, I guess the thing with Closer is I never really disliked that song in particular. It's just when I re-listened to it last year, and that was the first time I listened to the album since I was a kid, I don't know, it just didn't do anything for me, and it still doesn't do much for me. But like, yeah, I do understand it a bit more, and I like it for the most part. It does feel kind of atmospheric, and it's very low tempo. They don't really pick up the pace at all. And again, it's very interesting and fairly unique. So I do think that's really cool. At least unique for like what I know of the band anyway. But yeah, I do think that's pretty cool. But it still doesn't do too much for me. But it's fine. You know, I guess that's it really. Like it's fine. I definitely appreciate it more now than I did at the time. I definitely appreciate it more now than I did at the time of the re-listen. But I don't know. That's just kind of where my thoughts are with it. It's just kind of that. It's totally fine. I don't know if I like it as a way to open up a record though, because hearing Closer doesn't exactly get me excited to listen to the rest of the record. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I like it as an opener, but it's still a fine song, and I do appreciate it more than I did during the re-listen last year. That's where I'll leave that. For a ranking of the song, I'm going to do the similar kind of thing I did with the 3 Days Grace 1X ranking. It's going to be all just not really comparing it to any other albums or anything like that. It's going to be specifically how I feel right now, plus my past experiences with the album as well. And it's going to be ranking based specifically on this right here. Like, just Only by the Night. And, I mean, Closer, obviously, is not... I'm not going to say Closer is a perfect song. But, right away, I can say, yeah, it is definitely more than a 5 out of 10. Like, I would listen to it again. Because remember, my scale is 10 out of 10 is perfect song. 0 out of 10 is as close to objectively bad as you can get a song to be, in my opinion. And then 5 out of 10... And then 5 out of 10 is right in the middle, not good or bad. I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to it, but I'm not going to particularly get mad if it comes on. I'm just indifferent towards it. And Closer's definitely not that. It's not a 5 out of 10. It is higher than that, but it's not perfect either. So I think personally that as of right now, and I might adjust the rankings. I didn't end up adjusting the rankings for 1X, but I might do it with this one. We'll see. But for me, I think the best place to put Closer right here is probably like a 6 out of 10. Again, I don't love it as a way to open up the record, and it still doesn't do too much for me. But you know what? If I ever just really want to hear Closer specifically, I won't mind putting it on. I can see myself maybe, very rarely, getting the urge to listen to it. It wouldn't be often, but it could happen. So yeah, I'll do Closer at a 6 out of 10. So Closer is a 6 out of 10 in my book. And of course, the next song is Crawl. And I remember nothing of Crawl, but I do know that it's apparently a bitch to play in the earlier Rock Band titles because of Harmonix's strum limit, and yeah, there's that. But nonetheless, that's a conversation for a different day, which I might have at some point on the gaming channel, but that's neither here nor there at the moment. Let's get into listening to Crawl once again, and genuinely what to expect with Crawl. I don't really know. I will be honest though, I do like the guitar tone on this record as a whole. It's very like fuzzy. Like dirty, fuzzy. Again, I do like the instrumental here at the beginning. Coming out of the first chorus, I do really like the guitar. I do really like the instrumental outro here too. The guitar is great. So Crawl, yeah, kind of like with Closer, again, I think Can We Please Have Fun and enjoying that record as much as I did has helped me appreciate Crawl more too. And I do think Crawl is better than Closer personally. And I do like that both do, still feel very similar, and like they're different songs, they've got their own vibes, but they also feel similar enough and fit in together on the record so far. And like Crawl doesn't do a whole lot for me as well, but I do think Crawl is the better song than Closer. I like it. I really like I said, I like the guitar tone a lot on the record, and I really like how the guitar sounds on Crawl specifically. I like basically the solo to finish off the song, even if that part specifically is what's really a bitch to play in those earlier Rock Band titles with the strum limit. Again, different conversation though. It has no bearing on the song or the record. I just like bringing it up because it's funny. But yeah, no, I do like Crawl. It'd be, again, if I said that I don't quite like Closer, but I might very rarely come back to it every now and again, Crawl would be like the next step up. So if Closer to me is a 6 out of 10, Crawl is probably a 7 out of 10. I think that's fair. So yeah, that's kind of like what I say there. Not too much else to add. Again, I like Crawl just a little bit more than Closer. But so far, my thoughts on Can We Please Have Fun, enjoying that record as much as I do, and then appreciating and genuinely liking Only by the Night more. So far, that is coming true. But yeah, so Closer would be a 6 out of 10, and Crawl would be a 7 out of 10, which puts Crawl at number 1 in the ranking. But of course, the next song is Sex on Fire. And this one, yeah, like I already know I actually do really like this song. So I know it'll be above Closer and Crawl. But hey, I mean, we'll listen to it and we'll give it a chance. And maybe I won't like it as much. Who knows? I mean, I will. I'll like it more, but we'll see. We will see. I love the instrumental to this song, genuinely. Which is funny, because I hated this song as a kid, as I talked about before, but yeah, I like it now. I love that guitar in the chorus. This is also the first song on the record so far to really pick it up and have like a higher energy, too. And it shows, and you can feel it. Love how everyone drops out and they all slowly come back in. And yeah, that, as I was kind of like alluding to there, Sex on Fire is easily the best song so far. It hits very hard. It hits very hard. It's the most high energy they've got to that point on the record. And from memory, it might also be like the most high energy on the whole record. Cause I would say it's still more high energy than You Somebody, even if I do prefer You Somebody. I don't know. Genuinely, this record doesn't get too high energy from what I remember. But yeah, like I said, it's easily the best song on the record. I like it a lot, and it's easily better than Crawl. I don't know. Ooh. I want to say it's easier. I want to say it's easily better than Crawl, but I almost don't know if an 8 out of 10 would show that. You know? You know what? For Only by the Night, like, since I'm only ranking based on album specifically and how I feel with the album specifically, as I just said, I don't know why I repeated that. Yeah, I'm gonna give Sex on Fire a 9 out of 10. I don't, again, even from memory, as much as I like Sex on Fire, and especially You Somebody, I wouldn't call any song a perfect song on the record. But, like, for what I know of Kings of Leon, those two are probably, like, what I want from the band. So, yeah. They're probably the best representations of the band in my head. You know, obviously, like, if you're more familiar with the band, you have a very different opinion on that. And you probably don't like those as much, even though they are the two biggest songs, you know? Especially since, like, say, for example, everything before Only by the Night, you know, is, like, them and, like, their southern rock roots, you know? Them basically trying to be the southern rock equivalent of the Strokes, and doing for southern rock what the Strokes were doing for garage rock. So yeah, like, if you're a fan of the early stuff, then you probably don't really like Only by the Night. And then everything after Only by the Night is also interesting, and you know, who knows what the general consensus is on that. I don't know. I'm not really a huge fan of the band, so I don't know that. But regardless, I'm just rambling at this point. Sex on Fire, 9 out of 10. And we move on to You Somebody, which, again, I already know I do like more, but again, we'll listen to it for the sake of the episode and see if it does stay, in my opinion, better than Sex on Fire. I love the instrumental here, especially with the background harmonies, the woes in the background. I love it, genuinely. I love the building up of the drums. I love this solo. And yeah, You Somebody, again, it's so far still, I think, the best song on the record. I love it. I've always liked You Somebody, though. Even when I didn't care about the band or even the album, I've always liked You Somebody. Even if, like, I didn't know I really liked it, or I didn't really come back to it at all, I love the song, and I started coming back to it. At this point, probably 5 or 6 years ago, started coming back to it a little more regularly. And yeah, I love this song. Like I said, I love the build-up of the drums going into the chorus. Again, still love the sound of the guitar and the tone. Love that solo, even if, you know, it may be a simple solo. And I don't know for sure because I don't play guitar. But it sounds to be a bit more of a simple solo. But yeah, like, it sounds good. I love this song. And again, they get more high energy. Like, they keep that momentum from Sex on Fire, and it works really well. And I would say, if Sex on Fire is a 9 out of 10 to me for this record, then You Somebody is just slightly higher. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. But up next is Manhattan. Okay, already a bit of a different start instrumentally. Still fits in, but a bit of a different start. Yeah, I really dig the instrumental here. I really like the drums in this song. And again, I like that instrumental outro into the fade out. And again, we have another song that has definitely benefited from me getting more into the band and understanding them a bit more. And I like Manhattan more than I remember. Definitely. And, you know, what can I say? I definitely prefer it to Crawling Closer, but not as much as Sex on Fire or You Somebody. So again, if Sex on Fire is a 9 out of 10 and Crawl is a 7 out of 10, then Manhattan, I would say, is then a solid 8 out of 10. Which then moves us into Revelry. Lyrics start right away this time. A much slower and softer instrumental so far for this song too. Ooh, the bass in this song is very good. Definitely the most standout bass work to this point. And yeah, again, I've said it for every song, you know, I just appreciate this record more. And again, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen with liking Can We Please Have Fun. And yeah, Revelry, again, I like more than I originally did. Again, kind of like with the first two, it still doesn't do a whole lot for me. But admittedly, as of right now, my reaction is still better than the first two. But maybe not as good as Manhattan. So I'm going to give Revelry a nice 7.5 out of 10. And now we go into 17. Which originally, on the re-listen last year, was a song that I said, honestly, kind of made me feel a bit uncomfortable. So we'll see how I feel about it now. I immediately do like the instrumental to this song, like right away. The "Oh, she's only 17" line, I just... no. You know, 17 is... It's a shame that I really, really hate the lyrics to that song. Like, it's a shame that those lyrics just creep me the fuck out. Because, like, genuinely, I like the instrumental of that song a lot. But, nah, it's like, look, if we're gonna shit on Kip Winger for writing his 80s hair metal cheese-tastic song 17, we're shitting on Kings of Leon for 17. No, you know what? No, forget it. I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna have like a small defense for Kings of Leon here, but nope. The "Oh, she's only 17" line, it's still creepy. It's still creepy, especially when you know that everyone in the band were well into their 20s by the time that this record was in production. No, just no. But with the ranking, the instrumental can save it a little bit. So, is it as good as Manhattan? No. Do I like it as much as Revelry? No. But, instrumentally, I probably like it more than... Ooh, it's tough. Instrumentally, I probably do like it about as much as Revelry. Maybe a little bit more. Somewhere in between there. Definitely somewhere in between the 7 and 8 of Manhattan and Crawl. But yeah, then lyrically, it does kind of get brought down. You know? So... You know what? To be fair, I am going to give it a 5.5 out of 10. which I know kind of cop out. Which I know kind of cop out answer because that's the exact same thing I did with Riot on 1X. But the thing is, I do like the instrumental quite a bit, but I can't say that I would ever really come back to the song, because if I come back to the song, then I have to come back to the lyrics of it, and I don't like the lyrics. Some of those lines creep me out. I find them creepy and they make me uncomfortable. So yeah, I wouldn't come back to 17, but because I like the instrumental of it, that does push it up. But therefore, if there's things I do like about it quite a bit, but I couldn't picture myself coming back to it, that really does match my feelings on Riot then, 5.5 out of 10. Because then, like I said, 5 out of 10 is completely indifferent, not good, not bad. I don't care about it one way or the other. Like, I wouldn't come back to it at all, but I don't find it bad. So yeah. Again, bit of a cop-out, but 5.5 out of 10. There are things I do like about it. I just wish the lyrics were better. But because I don't like the lyrics as much as I don't, then, yeah. 5.5 out of 10. Which puts it at the bottom of the ranking. And next up is Notion. Again, I like that guitar right at the beginning. I will say there's not much lyrical diversity on this album. Like, they repeat lines a lot. But yeah, Notion, like I said while it was playing, I had already noticed that going back to the record again. There's not a whole lot of lyrical diversity. There's really not. But sometimes that's fine. And I do think it works on Notion. I like Notion quite a bit. Again, I'm not going to say it's one of the best two on the record, but I really like the instrumental there. And I don't have an issue lyrically, besides, again, they could have had some more lyrics in there. They could have made the lyrics a bit more diverse with what they were saying. But yeah, no, I do like Notion quite a bit. It did stand out pretty well to me. So with that being said, in the ranking, where does it go? It's obviously still underneath 1 and 2, because it's not, I don't think it's better than You Somebody or Sex on Fire. But I mean, I probably do like it a bit more than Revelry. Do I like it more than Manhattan? Off the top of my head, gut reaction, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say Notion, at the end of the day, does equal Manhattan, even if I prefer Manhattan just a little bit. And Manhattan may bump up to about an 8.5 then, but for now, they'll stay together at an 8 out of 10. And now we move on to the next song, which I genuinely have no memory of ever listening to. As of right now, I don't remember it by song title or anything. And that is the song I Want You. Okay, I like the bass and the drums at the start. Actually sounds like a cowbell. I do like the guitar in the back. This is a very slow moving song. Never picks up. Again, I do like the instrumental. So, with I Want You, like I was saying, I do like the instrumental, but yeah, lyrically, it doesn't really do much for me, and the song as a whole doesn't do much for me. It really doesn't. And I understand now why. I know I've heard the song probably plenty of times in the past, and, yeah. I've never really remembered it. I still don't care for it. It's, like, it's the weakest song on the album. Like, genuinely, again, there are things I do like about it. But I would probably rather come back to 17, even with my issues with the lyrics, than I would want to come back to this song, to be honest. I genuinely couldn't actually picture myself coming back to I Want You again. So, with that being said, I am going to actually give it a 5 out of 10. Because that's exactly how I feel about I Want You. It's not bad, but it's not good. I'm just kind of indifferent towards it. I don't feel strongly one way or the other. And again, at least with 17, I like the instrumental more than I like it with I Want You. And 17, again, also at least gives me more to talk about and think about lyrically as well, even if I don't like the lyrics. So yeah, I Want You is very much like the right in the middle, 5 out of 10. It's not good, it's not bad, it's firmly in the middle. So yeah. But then we move on to Be Somebody, which was originally my third favorite on the record, so we'll see where it lands now. Again, I do like the instrumental immediately. Like, I love the drums here. The drums are just great. Absolutely. Oh, I love that guitar at the end, too. Like I was saying while listening, number one, the drums on Be Somebody are so, so good. I wish this song would be charted for, like, Rock Band, genuinely. Like, hey, harmonics, rhythm authors, Be Somebody, Kings of Leon for Fortnite Festival. Let's do it. Because I can just imagine drums, especially since we know they have been charting for pro drums, like Rock Band pro drums, that is, for festival. So, God, I want to see them charting Be Somebody's drums. Because that would be that'd be a really good, really fun drum song. But yeah, like, genuinely, I understand why I liked the song so much last year when I did the re-listen. And re-listening again this year, I still like the song. And I think, genuinely, it's right up there with one of my favorites. I don't think, again, it's quite as strong as You Somebody or Sex on Fire. But I'm glad that I didn't adjust Manhattan's score to be at 8.5, because Be Somebody is easily slotting into that third spot in the ranking with an 8.5. It's that good, I think. Firmly number 3, right under You Somebody and Sex on Fire. And yeah, I still really like Be Somebody. And of course that brings us into our closing track of the record, Cold Desert. So, let's jump into it immediately. I do like that lone guitar at the beginning. Also the longest song on the record. That's really unique, having everything fade out, drop out and fade out, and then the vocals brings everything back. That's fairly unique. I don't know if I've ever seen that done like that before. And then closing the same way we opened this closing track, with a lone guitar. I like that. Nice touch. I'm a big sucker for, ending how you started. But with that being said, yeah, Cold Desert, I like it more than some of the other tracks. Like, definitely more than 17 and I Want You. I do find the instrumental very interesting. But it's also not my favorite by any means. And it is one of those songs that, again, doesn't do a whole lot for me. But I do think it gets points for being, I think, a very fitting closing track for this record. So, that being said, I do like it. And where would I put it? You know what? I think the perfect ranking for Cold Desert is the exact same ranking I gave Closer, the opener. I think both are 6 out of 10. You know what? I'll actually give Cold Desert a 6.5 out of 10, because while I didn't think Closer was necessarily a good way to open up the record, I think Cold Desert is a good way to close out the record. So I'd say I'd like it just a little bit more, but maybe not as much as Crawl. So 6.5 out of 10. Which leaves our ranking for Only by the Night by Kings of Leon. My favorite track being You Somebody, which I gave a 9.5 out of 10 for this record, of course. And then Sex on Fire at 9 out of 10. Be Somebody at an 8.5 out of 10. Manhattan and Notion both at 8 out of 10, with me preferring Manhattan just a little bit. Then Revelry at a 7.5 out of 10. Crawl at a 7 out of 10. Cold Desert at 6.5 out of 10. Closer, the opener, at a 6 out of 10. 17 at a 5.5 out of 10. And I Want You at a 5 out of 10. And yeah, Only by the Night, like I said before, I was very excited to finally re-listen to it again after having listened to Can We Please Have Fun and liking that record quite a bit. And genuinely, that record has helped me understand the band a bit more and to appreciate their biggest success, Only by the Night, more. There's still things I don't care for. Some songs still don't really do much for me. But some songs I do like more than I did. And I do still think the strongest songs on the record are what I originally said were my favorites. Being You Somebody, Sex on Fire, and Be Somebody. But again, I genuinely liked Manhattan, Notion, Revelry, and Crawl all more than I did originally. I still have an appreciation for Cold Desert and Closer more. And again, 17, I do like the instrumental to quite a bit. I just don't like the lyrics, and I Want You's the only one that I'm just very much indifferent towards completely. So yeah, I do like the record a good bit, actually. I appreciate it way more now. And with that being said, do I think I prefer this record to Unfiltered Episode 1's 1X? No, of course not. That record has a big, super special place in my heart and always will. Only by the Night, even if I am kind of nostalgic for it, it can't hold a candle to that, you know? But hey, I like Only by the Night. I appreciate it way more now. And that was my unscripted album review for TGC Radio, for TGC Unfiltered Episode 2. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment, or share on social media, do all that good stuff. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye, guys.